So welcome to Beginner's Guide to AWS. Well, in this presentation, I'll introduce you to the world of AWS. I really appreciate the first timers and the revisitors to my channel. So today I'm going to start about this AWS and why is this leading cloud computing platform. We will learn more about the services, their experiences, and many more. So moving on to next slide. So, for those who are new to AWS, firstly, AWS stands for Amazon Web Services. To explain this in a simple layman's language, as you all know that it offers a wide range of services and tools to help businesses scale and grow. So let's explore some of these key AWS services and how they benefit your organization. Well, to use these services, to understand these services, you should really understand what is AWS as a whole and how is this going to benefit your organization. To explain this in a simpler terms, let me break down and give you a very simple classic examples. So let's imagine you want to build a sand castle at a beach. Imagine you're at a beach and you're building a sand castle. As you see in so many videos, people do that, right? But you don't have the tools or materials to build a castle. Now, AWS is like a beachfront rental services that provides you with everything you need. Okay, I hope you're understanding. So, to get started to build a castle, what you need a piece of land, let's say that as infrastructure. So, AWS offers you a piece of land on a beach where you can build your sandcastle. So, you don't have to buy the land on a whole, okay? So, it will give you a piece of land. You can use it for as long as you need. You know, kids build this castle for like 10 minutes and then the water washes it off and then they are just done. They don't want to do it again. So, like that. So, AWS offers you a piece of land. So, you can buy that, not exactly buy the land, you can use that land for as long as you need. Now, building a castle is not easy, right? You will need some tools. So, when we talk about tools, here are the services we will incorporate in our request, in our requirement. And here our requirement is to build a sandcastle. So AWS provides you with buckets, shovels, and other tools you need to build your sandcastle. So these tools are like the various services which AWS offers, such as computing, power, storage, database, and many more. We will learn about this in more videos because these are so in-depth. Now that you have purchased some tools, which are like services, you'll have to pay, right? So how much will you pay? I'm sure you will not pay more for those things because you will build a castle and you'll go home. You will not take the sand castle to your home. So you will only pay for the time and resources you use. Now, if you build a small castle and leave, you will pay very little amount for that. But if you build a massive sand castle with many tools, then you will pay more. So pay as you use. For more tools and services, more money. For less tool and services, less money. This is one of the best feature and many business people and companies organization choose this because there's a lot of cost saving with this. Now, let's say you're building a castle and the waves wash it off. But you need security, right? You purchase, you spend money and you purchase these tools to build your castle. But what about the security now? So AWS also provides you full-fledged security. So AWS makes sure your sandcastle is safe from the waves, just like it provides security measures to protect your data, applications, and everything that you're working on. Now, building a sandcastle or application or a database, it is a team effort, right? So if you invite your friends to build your sandcastle, AWS can quickly provide more tools and land to accommodate them. So when they leave, you return what you don't need. So that means you can add your friends, you can add some services, you can use as many tools as you want. AWS provides it. All you have to do is just pay for the resources you need and you have to return what you don't use. So, in essence, AWS is like a giant toolbox and beach at rental store for businesses. So it gives them the tools and space they need to build and run the digital application and services on the internet without having to worry about the underlying technical details. Now, we have so many services, EC2. It stands for Elastic Cloud Compute. So it allows you to create and manage virtual servers in the cloud. So you don't have to buy a whole server, manage it, take care of its maintenance, security. And then we have simple storage services. S3 is a highly scalable and durable object storage service. Again, it is designed to store and retrieve any amount of data from anywhere on the web. With S3, you can easily manage, secure, and distribute your data. Next, Elastic Beanstalk we have. Now, this acts as a platform as a service, a PaaS service that simplifies the deployment and management of application, and this happens within minutes. And then relational databases. It is a fully managed database. You do not have to do anything here. It has a relational database like MySQL, PostgreSQL, Oracle, SQL servers. It takes care of the routine database task, allowing you to focus on your application. Now, to go in depth in AWS EC2, what exactly it does. Now, let's talk about EC2. Now, you imagine you need a computer to do some work, but you don't want to buy a physical computer because again, cost. Instead, you want to rent one for a while. Isn't that a best option? So Amazon EC2 is like a computer rental services. It provides you a virtual computer, which is known as instances. So these EC2 instances provide you with a virtual computer in the cloud. Now, this virtual computer is just like a real one, but it exists on the internet. You can use it to run software, store data, or do any computing task you need. Now, the question is, there are so many computers in the market. Which one will you choose? So you can pick the type of virtual computers you need based on your requirement. Some are small and suitable for basic tasks, while others are large and powerful like supercomputers. It is like choosing the right sized car for your journey. Now, if there are like 6 people on a journey, then you will choose an SUV. But if there are just 2 people or 4 people, you will choose a sedan. Likewise, we have so many EC2 instances. We have a range of options, which we'll talk about in our next videos. So you can choose your best computer based on your type of task. If it is a small, then small. If it is a huge computer with huge task, then of course you can go for supercomputers. Now, again, price is also considered, right? So how much you will pay, is your usage capacity. Again, with EC2 instances, you pay only for the time you use the virtual machine. How much time you are using it, how much time is consumed, you only pay for that. If you only need it for few hours or days, you only pay for that time. It is similar to renting a car for a weekend. You don't have to pay for a whole month. You'll just have to pay for the weekend because that's the time you'll be using it. Now, just because you take a car doesn't mean you'll pick any car, right? Some customization also will be there, and how feasible it is on that particular car. So you can install whatever software you want on this virtual machine. Just like you would install apps on your own computer, it's your own flexible workspace, isn't it? Now, if you suddenly need more virtual computer because you have a big project or lots of work to do, then EC2 can quickly provide them. When you're done, you can return them, so you're not paying for what you don't need. So Amazon EC2 is like having a virtual computer rental service at your fingertips. It allows you to have the computing power you need when you need it without the hassle of owning and maintaining physical hardware as a whole. So now let's talk about simple storage service. With simple storage service, there are tons of options with storage as well, and it is highly scalable and durable object storage services. It is designed to store and retrieve any amount of data from anywhere on the web. So with S3, you can easily manage, secure, and distribute your data. Coming to Elastic Beanstalk, like I said, it's a platform as a service. But how to explain this in layman terms with real world examples? So imagine you want to bake a cake, but you don't want to go through the hassle of buying ingredients, mixing them, and baking in the oven. Instead, you want someone to take care of all that for you. So AWS Elastic Beanstalk is like having a personal chef who bakes cakes or other web applications for you. When we talk about this in real time, it is about web applications. Let's consider a cake is a web application. Think of your web application as a recipe. You have all the ingredients like code, files, configurations, they're so ready. Now, what this Elastic Beanstalk will do, you have to hand over your recipe to Elastic Beanstalk and it takes care of everything else. Finding the right ingredient as in right resources, mixing them as in configuring servers, and baking the recipe, deploying your web app. So this way, creating a web application becomes very easy. Now, you want to sell cakes online. With Elastic Beanstalk, you provide your cake recipe and Elastic Beanstalk handles the baking process like server setup, load balancing, scaling, so the customer can order cakes from your website. Now, if you run a restaurant and want to offer an online menu for customers to order food, Elastic Beanstalk ensures your online menu, which is your web application, is always available, even during busy times without you worrying about the technical details. Now you want to share your book collection with the world through a web application. So Elastic Beanstalk takes care of hosting and maintaining your online library, allowing users to search and access books easily. Now, you might wonder all this task and so much Elastic Beanstalk is doing, and how much will it charge us? Because it is literally doing everything what one wants for the business. Well, here also it's the same. You only pay for the resources like oven, ingredients, your web application uses. If you have more visitors, like if you have more cake orders, Elastic Beanstalks automatically adds more resources to handle the load and you pay a bit more during busy time. So it is easy management. You don't need to be a professional baker like server administrator. This role also you don't have to play. To get your cake, that means your web application online, Elastic Beanstalk simplifies the process, making it accessible for everybody. So right from cooking, baking, hosting, ordering, making sure it's in capacity, everything it takes care. It's like having a skilled chef take your recipe and handle all the cooking for you, ensuring your web application is available and responsive to users without the need for you to worry about the technical aspects of a server management and scaling. This is very easy and so convenient. All you have to do is give your ingredients. It knows how to mix, it knows what to use, everything. Now about relational databases, like I said, there are plenty of databases. So RDS provides a fully managed database services for popular relational databases like MySQL, Postgre, Oracle, SQL servers. It takes care of the routine database task, allowing you to focus more on your application. Maintenance, security, you really don't have to worry. But imagine having this as a physical thing and you have to worry about all this. Isn't this how convenient AWS has become? So these are one of the best features and that is what I was going to talk about. Now that we discussed so much about AWS services and which are just four for now and we'll talk more in our coming videos. Now why we use AWS? Why? There are several reasons, but let me jot down four important ones. One is scalability, other is reliability, third is security, fourth is cost effectiveness. In all the examples I have given, I have spoke about scalability, how Elastic Beanstalk makes sure you have capacity and it scales as and when you receive more orders. Security, it makes sure the waves do not destroy your castle. Reliability, if you are building your web application, it is taking everything from the back end. Cost effectiveness, you only pay for what is needed. Isn't that great opportunity? Now, let's talk about how to get started with AWS. Well, for beginners, there is this free tier you can use, which is free for 365 days. You can create an account in AWS, get started. The official link is in the description. Sign up with your name, email ID. You can provide your credit card, debit card. It will charge rupees 1 or 2 so that once you cross the threshold, you'll start getting billed. So make sure you only use the resources that are available in free tier. Once you have an AWS account, familiarize yourself with different services available, explore the AWS management console and understand the purpose of each services. Next, you can, as and when you grow and learn and understand, you can launch an EC2 instances and of course, which is under the free tier, just so you more cost is not incurred for you unnecessarily. Because when we talk about AWS EC2,